The first Nintendo Switch didn't have its own Mario Kart game. While many people associate the acclaimed Mario Kart 8 with the debut iteration of the Switch, that game technically released on the ill-fated Wii U back in 2014 before being ported over to the Switch as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in early 2017 via an enhanced version with all of the previously released DLC and a rejiggered battle mode that was superior to the one found in the Wii U edition. Meaning that, in other words, Nintendo didn't release a new Mario Kart racer featuring its iconic mascot during the entire 8-year run of the first Nintendo Switch console. And this was simultaneously weird, but kinda logical in a roundabout way that at the time only made sense to Nintendo, which, funnily enough, is a phrase that generally describes Nintendo's business model and the products it designs. See the Nintendo 64's three-pronged monstrosity of a controller that looks as if it were designed for Goro. What I'm trying to say is that this is the type of nonsensical stuff that Nintendo sometimes has a knack for creating. And Nintendo foregoing the development of a Mario Kart designed specifically for the Nintendo Switch was similarly surprising. It was certainly a decision that was made. With that being said though, hindsight is 2026, and Nintendo's decision regarding Mario Kart had a strong rationale behind it and did so for two reasons. Firstly, there was the whole Mario Kart 8 situation, because sure, Mario Kart 8 received critical acclaim when it released on the Wii U back in 2014, but as we all know, the Wii U was a colossal blunder on Nintendo's part, one that regularly inspired game industry analyst Michael Pachter to call for the firing and/or resignation of then Nintendo CEO Satoru Iwata on a weekly basis, to the point that I was concerned for Mr. Pachter's mental health, and thus, seeing as it was on the Wii U, Mario Kart 8, despite being considered one of the best Mario Kart installments, didn't reach the massive audience that it truly deserved. Hence why Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released as a launch title for the Nintendo Switch in early 2017 so that it could finally receive the player base that caliber of title truly deserved, which given the Nintendo Switch's monumental success is something that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe eventually received, proving that Nintendo did right by the pedigree of that game and the players who did not originally experience Mario Kart 8 while it was exclusively on the Wii U. Because once again, the Wii U was a disaster. And I know disasters. I'm a neurodivergent lesbian trans woman with ADHD. I know what disaster looks like. Admittedly, porting Mario Kart 8 over to Switch from the Wii U only went so far in terms of explaining why the Switch didn't receive its own Mario Kart title, mostly because the Nintendo Switch was Nintendo's current generation console for 8 years, and 8 years is a long time, even in the video game business, meaning that there was still plenty of time to follow up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with a Mario Kart 9 or whatever number Nintendo desired to give it on that system. And surprise, surprise, that was the initial plan. In Nintendo's Ask the Developer series, it was revealed that Mario Kart World, which would eventually be the follow-up Mario Kart game, was initially planned for the Nintendo Switch, which as we all know, is something that ultimately did not happen. And actually, there was an incredibly cut and dry explanation for Mario Kart World's absence on the Switch 1. According to Mario Kart World's developers featured in that aforementioned Ask the Developer series, link in the description, the rationale to axe Mario Kart World on the Switch 1 was due to a combination of factors, but with the barriers mainly being ambition and technology related. See, the developers believed that Mario Kart 8 and by extension Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, was the most polished and fine-tuned Mario Kart title to date, maybe even to the point where the formula had been perfected, and because of that, the developers desired to stretch their creative muscles and create something different, which they ultimately did in Mario Kart World, a game that was honestly far more ambitious than any Mario Kart title before it, featuring racetracks and a world that is interconnected all alongside 24 competitors per race, even in multiplayer mode, which doubled Mario Kart 8's maximum number of racers, which was at a comparatively paltry capacity of 12, which are all pretty interesting ideas, but were unfortunately ones that the Switch 1 couldn't handle, because Mario Kart World's scale and lofty ambitions surpassed the Switch 1's technological capabilities, or at least not without severe compromises in performance, especially in terms of frame rate and split-screen play, which were both things that Nintendo understandably were unwilling to sacrifice. Because while the Switch 1 was often viewed as the little engine that could, when it came to Mario Kart World, the Switch became the little engine that could not.